Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to our powder premiumisation webinar. I'm Lisa North and I look after Fonterra's ingredients business here in New Zealand, and I will be your host today. For those of you who don't know me, I've been with Fonterra for the last 16 years, working predominantly in our ingredients business, including 3 years in Singapore managing sales in our paediatrics business. Today I have the privilege of leading our ingredients business in our home market of New Zealand, and I'm thrilled to have a team of our experts with us today, located across Shanghai, Hamilton and Chicago, who you will meet shortly. I'm very excited to have Joy Zhao with us today from Shanghai. She's part of our global sports and active lifestyle team, and she's a strategic business analyst, and she's got some great insights for you on the China market to share. Also have the privilege of introducing you shortly to Jared O'Sullivan, who's based in Hamilton, New Zealand. Jared's really the person we want to be talking to for all things powder, so he's got a great presentation for us today. And Rachel Marshall, who's definitely an expert in this field. Rachel's based in Chicago, alongside Joy, part of our global FNU team around global sports and active lifestyle, and who has a real passion for this sector, so has a great section for us today as well. So what are we going to cover today? We'll start with a quick overview of NZMP and what we can offer you. Gerald will then take us through our powders portfolio and how these products can support what Chinese consumers are looking for. Rachel will spend some time looking at the wellbeing sector in our portfolio, including some of our great concepts and more specialty ingredients targeting the consumers in China. And then Joy will wrap it all up with an overview of the China market and what consumers are looking for in nutritional powders. So a really interesting set of speakers for you today. We would love to hear from you as we go through this webinar. So if you have any questions, please type them in the chat box on your screen, as we will have time for Q&A at the end. So as you can see, we've got a lot to cover today, so let's get started. Firstly, a reminder of who we are. NZMP is our B2B brand, and we pride ourselves on our comprehensive range of ingredients, one of the broadest offerings worldwide, spanning 5 key product families with a range of applications. Today we will focus on powders, along with some of our specialty ingredients that complement the wellness sector, with a particular focus on China. At Fonterra, we're really proud of our farming systems, which make the most of the mild climate here in New Zealand, maybe not so much today, and we've put a lot of work into quantifying these systems so we can offer customers grass-fed and pasture-grazed claims that are clear and defendable. Our cows are grass-fed 96% of the time on average, and their time on pasture is at least 350 days a year, which we believe is world-class at scale. If you're interested in grass-fed claims, we can support you with licensing of icons, imagery and videography. As consumers, we all want to know where our food comes from, and we want to make sure that that's from a natural source. Hence, claims of grass-fed can really play into these consumers, along with our New Zealand provenance story as well. Now on to the wellness and healthy living sector, which has become a really global mega trend, especially with all of us living under the cloud of COVID recently. It's really started to transform and disrupt entire categories. Food plays a large part of this, with consumers understanding that what we can eat affects us physically and mentally and inside and out. Really now seen as a key lifestyle choice, with consumers seeking products that are more natural but still have functional benefits and are willing to pay more for these. And health is definitely seen as the new wealth. Leading a healthy lifestyle is almost seen as a status symbol in some countries. And a final reminder that NZMP can offer a wide range of ingredients to complement this sector, including multiple formats and claims depending on the target audience and the benefit that you're looking for. So now I'm going to introduce you to Jared O'Sullivan. So great to have you online today, Jared. I hope things aren't too chilly for you down in Hamilton.
It's all good, thanks Lisa. Hi everyone. I'm the Technical Manager for Fonterra's Consumer Powders Ingredient Marketing category. I have 30 years experience in various technical, business development and marketing roles within the dairy industry, both in New Zealand and Europe. But over the last 6 years, I've been focused on the expansion of Fonterra's NZMP range of consumer powders. That's the instant milk powders. I'm going to outline the portfolio of powders we have available for use as finished powders and as bases for blending. Waiting for that to click over. Right. In this category, we find consumers are motivated to use milk powders for three key segments: growth and development, general family nourishment, and adult nutrition. The key usage occasions tend to be powder reconstitution into a drinking milk, powder mixed into tea and coffee, and other in-home food applications such as ingredients for baking, use with cereal, or for yogurt making. Important drivers for consumers' decision-making are value for money, and research shows this is more than just getting the lowest price. And of course, taste and nutrition are important too. Fonterra has a long and rich history of manufacturing instant milk powders and supplying to a very wide range of markets across the world. So in addition, though, to this rich history and experience, we are passionate about the performance and consistency of our products, ensuring quality from cow to the final consumer use. We offer a complete range of powders relevant to you, with options of powders for both blending and finished repack solutions, and at a range of affordability. Our full range of powders includes what we call base commodity and some customer-specific powders, but today we will focus on our more differentiated everyday nutrition powders. But of course, we're happy to explore any other products you're interested outside of this forum. Well, we will focus today on the three powders I've framed in red here. First, I want to briefly touch on the others. Starting with Gold Instant Whole Milk Powder on the very left, this powder carries our highest performance guarantee. It's a very popular powder offering a range of tighter limits related mostly to the consumer experience. The everyday nutrition range, I will give more detail in the following slides, but we have three products with different compositions. Fortified Plus with the standard 24% protein and 28% fat of instant whole milk powder, and our super fortified instant skim milk powder is an instant skim milk powder full of vitamins and minerals, and Protein Plus is a partly skimmed instant milk powder with 30% protein and 12% milk fat. Then we have the selection in our affordable range. One is a pure dairy powder, being more affordable as it's half fat, but we've engineered it to maintain a creamy taste. Then we have our fat-filled milk powders. These have the fat replaced with palm oil. NZMP fat-filled milk powder has the same composition as instant whole milk powder and the same fortification with vitamins A and D and the same great functionality. Nutrite is a special low-protein powder designed as a beverage whitener and milky drink. It's fortified, though, with vitamins A, C, D, and the minerals calcium, iron, and zinc. So just focusing in now a little bit on three of those. Protein Plus has the benefit of being able to call out 25% more protein than full cream milk powder to take advantage of that growing consumer interest in protein. This also means it naturally has 25% more calcium. It is also fortified further with vitamins A and D. It is 30% protein and 12% milk fat, and technically an instantized partly skimmed milk powder. It's been certified as low GI by Otago University. It is a great product as a base for blending or as a finished product. With the extra protein and calcium over full cream milk and the low GI certification, we've suggested some consumer areas that it can be positioned as. So you can see down there on the right-hand side that list of consumer positionings. So as family nourishment, meaning as a milk for the whole family, everyday active, fuller for longer, and daily vitality. More details on the logic and claims behind these consumer positionings are available from your account manager or from nzmpbrand.com. The next product is the super fortified instant skim milk powder. With its high protein and suite of fortificants, is really well positioned to meet the needs of a diverse amount of consumer needs. It is fortified with calcium and vitamin D. to levels shown in studies on skim milk powder to reduce bone loss in postmenopausal women. It also has added vitamins A, C, E, folic acid, and also added iron. It is also certified as low GI by Otago University, with a wide range of nutritional benefits that you can call out with all these components. We have suggested, again, some consumer areas that it can be positioned as. You can see those down on the right-hand side there. So firstly, immunity. We know it is a big platform these days. The iron and the vitamins A, C, and D all contribute to normal immune function. Protein is also key for healthy immune function. For strong teeth and bones, the high levels of calcium and vitamin D and also the protein are great features contributing to this benefit. We could also position it as a diabetic milk with its low GI status, or a Materna milk full of important nutrients like calcium, iron, protein, and folic acid, or as a weight management milk because it's low in fat and is low GI status. And lastly, if full cream taste and energy is preferred, we have Fortified Plus, which is compositionally an instant whole milk powder, but also has vitamins A, C, and D, and iron and zinc added. So vitamins A, C, and D, and iron and zinc contribute to our immunity. Iron and zinc are also key for cognitive function, so for active brain and for brain development. With a wide range of nutritional benefits, we suggest, again, some consumer areas that can be called out and positioned. So immunity, again, the iron, zinc, vitamins A, C, and D, and also the protein are important for immune function. Mental clarity, because of the iron and zinc for cognitive health. Also good for healthy aging with these vitamins and minerals, and also the calcium. Or a kid's milk. Again, more details on this logic are available. So just so that's just summing up there. We have a good range with basis for blending, off-the-shelf solutions, and a range of affordability. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Jared. Lots of goodness in milk. It's good to be reminded of that. When you think about the China market in particular, and you think of a certain segment such as students, what would be a good base for that play if we wanted to develop a brand to meet those needs?
Sure. For students, the cognition benefits found in Fortified Plus and Super Fortified Instant Skim are well aligned. Of course, choice of which should take into account consideration for taste preference, because it's only nutritious if they drink it. The Fortified Plus being full cream may appeal to some more than skim, for example. But if your consumers want taste and reduce fat, then another alternative is the Protein Plus, which could make a good base for blending in nutrients, particularly for the younger groups.
Nice. Thanks, Jared. Welcome back to our online conversation. Over to you.
I really appreciate the opportunity coming to you as a Technical Engagement Manager for our Global Sports and Active Lifestyles unit, which is actually Singapore based, but I'm based in Chicago, traveling the world around the world in 40 hours from my home office, which is a lot of fun, helping our salespeople and our customers around the world to use our wellness ingredients to their advantage. So today I will be talking about our nutritional components for enhanced wellness benefits, and starting with our wellbeing portfolio, which is really about having solutions that are backed by strong science, giving the opportunity to add appealing health benefits to powder applications, among other applications, for the focus today obviously being powders. And we think about well-being in terms of total well-being. We've recognised that consumers are very much embracing health and wellness from both a physical and a mental side of things from their lives. And nutrition has been increasingly recognised as part of that solution, which is really exciting for us at NZMP because we have nothing but nutrition to offer. We're looking to help unlock new and innovative benefits, new ingredients and solutions for customers. The three key areas we're focusing on from our sports and active side is physical wellness, which includes the age-old muscle wellness, muscle health and growth, the sports side, of course, weight management, and also hydration, primarily coming from the proteins. We have mental wellness, which includes stress, anxiety, and mood, as well as cognitive performance. And wellness from the inside out, which includes immunity and digestive health. And we're looking at adding benefit areas to these where we can, as we find new solutions and have more science to support it. We have many consumer benefits and food and beverage formats sought by consumers being supported by our solutions and our science. So these same wellbeing categories down the side here. And then we have our key ingredients that we'll cover today: probiotics, milk phospholipids, milk minerals, protein, and lactoferrin. And then we can look at the different applications that they're applicable to. Good news for you is that all of those ingredients can work in powders, ready-to-mix powders quite easily, and also supplement sachets, and they can be used in a number of other formats as well. So we'll start with the big component of milk, protein. Protein is absolutely critical to our health, and I think we probably already recognise it. It has many benefits, and it's key to consumers' desires for physical performance, and can easily be enhanced in consumer powders. It includes benefits in our essential nutrition. You know, our bodies are made up of proteins, of muscle, our hair, our skin, our fingernails, all made up of protein. So we need it for our growth and repair and essential bodily function. It's important, as we all know, for sports nutrition, both for recovery and muscle tone. We see the bodybuilders with their big protein tubs. They recognise that that's an important aspect for protein, and it's also important for joint health and bone health as well, interestingly enough. And then muscle maintenance. As we get older, we want to stay strong and mobile, so it becomes important to maintain our muscle and prevent losing it, and also to maintain our function of our muscle, as well as that bone and mobility side of things. And then weight management, again, very linked into lean body mass in the muscle side. Protein helps to promote that lean body mass. It's also really great for sugar control, energy, and satiety. So really great benefits of having a bit of extra protein in your diet and in your formulations that you offer your customers. We have a wide range of dairy proteins that can act as a nutritional powder base in their own right, or they could be blended with some of Jared's milk powders to help really just boost the protein level in those a little bit more. So starting with whey protein concentrates and isolates. These are a byproduct of both cheese and casein manufacture. Nursery rhyme, little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating the curds and whey. The whey is the nice soluble protein, and it's very easily dissolved, so it's really popular for ready-to-mix powders. It's very high in the amino acid leucine, and it digests faster, and that amino acid leucine is really important for muscle. Hence we see sports protein powders and the bodybuilding powders being primarily whey-based. We also have whey protein hydrolysates, which are our base whey proteins, which are enzymatically digested for faster absorption, and these are common value add for sports as well, and you also see them often in infant formulas for fussy babies to make them easier to digest. Moving on to our milk proteins, we have both isolates and concentrates, and isolates and concentrates just relate to how much protein is in them. These are closest to milk with simply removing the lactose from the milk and obviously the water, and you come up with a powder that contains both the 20% whey and 80% casein that you would naturally have present in milk, and the nice mild milky flavour. And then we have calcium caseinate, which is slower digesting, and this is casein based. So sort of four key families of proteins you could consider adding to your products. Moving on to the little guys, probiotics are not technically dairy, but we have isolated our strains from dairy, so we count them, and we are proud that we manufacture our own starter cultures for our cheese business. So hence we are very good at growing high quality cultures. Now, by definition, probiotics are live microorganisms which, when administered in adequate amounts, confer a health benefit on the host. So it's really important to focus on the live factor here and the benefits. So you need to give The probiotics need to be able to be live and stable through storage, through processing, and also through digestion, so they get into your digestive tract alive. And they also need to be proven to have a health benefit, otherwise they're not by definition a probiotic. So it's important to choose the right probiotics that are at the dose them at the right level to be able to deliver them live to give that benefit to your consumers. A few kind of 101 tips on probiotics. The strain of the probiotic matters, and not all probiotics by seemingly the same name are equal. They all have different characteristics, and the science links right back to the specific strain. So if we think about an analogy here, I'm going to start with mammals and move through dogs. So mammals might be like the genus, and in the case of one of our strains, it's a bifidobacterium, so that will be like the genus mammals. But we move from mammals, there's a lot of different mammals. So now we can think about, let's think about the species, and that might be a dog. So in our case of our Bifidobacterium animalis. Now, when we have dogs, if I was coming to visit you and stay the night and bring my dog, you probably want to know if I'm bringing a Labrador, a Schnauzer, or a Great Dane, because you might have to prepare a little bit differently. And clearly all of those dogs are quite different, even though they're all a dog. So if we say we've got a mammal and a dog, you want to know the strain of dog, and that is where we get into the details. And in the case of our Bifidobacterium animalis lactis, it's HN019. And that is very specific, and it links to all of the benefits that you can offer your consumers by using that strain and calling it out on pack. We do have two very well studied, what we call hero strains with nice broad benefits. So we have Bifido B HN019 and Lacto B HN001. Both of them have a number of similar benefits, but they work in slightly different ways. So you could use them either by themselves or together to add complementary benefits. We have benefits in digestive health, in the both prevention of constipation and the general integrity of the gut and the gut barrier functions. They both have inflammation benefits to help reduce inflammation associated with certain infections. And also they are protective against certain infections as well, so they can reduce certain pathogens, they can help protect against infections like diarrhea, also potentially gum infections, and a number of other infections in the body. And they can also both offer benefits in nutrient absorption. So that's obviously a really great benefit if you are coupling them with some of Jared's powders that have got enhanced levels of certain vitamins and minerals. If the probiotic can help to absorb that even better for you. And then the Lacto B HN019 also has some anti-allergy benefits, largely in children. We've got some really strong studies showing benefits of prevention and risk of eczema, sorry. In terms of the applications, they work very well in powders and supplements, both in the capsule and the sachet form. As long as your powder is dry enough, milk powders and ready-to-mix protein powders are really good applications, along with a number of other applications you could consider if you've got a portfolio and simple powders. Another 101 tip is that the number of live bacterial cells does decrease over the shelf life, and the higher die-off will require a higher addition rate. So we've studied our strains really well, and we've got specific proprietary processing to make superior stability for our strains, which reduces the rate of die-off, meaning you have to add less. And we can help you to determine a suitable dose based on the shelf life and based on modelling the losses, either using our own modelling systems or actually helping with shelf life studies in your final process. And in addition to managing the die-off by choosing the right strong, stable strains, you can also make sure that the powder is as dry as possible and reduce the temperature of storage, which can really manage that as well. And another quick note as well, that you may have heard of spore-forming probiotics, which are essentially dormant probiotics. So if you think about a hibernating bear, these probiotics are are going, essentially gone to sleep until they're and so they can handle really extreme conditions. So whether it be high moisture, unfavorable pH, or heat. But then when they're in favorable conditions, they can come back to life and be able to deliver the probiotic benefits. The challenge with spore-forming probiotics is because they are so stable and able to handle those extreme conditions, they can typically handle getting through some of our typical cleaning processes, such as CIPs and the like, which can be challenging. So once you've got them in your plant, they can be quite challenging to get rid of. This can be managed, but it is a key advantage of our strains in that they are not spore-forming. Does mean they need a little bit of extra care and handling, but it makes it much easier to clean your plant down afterwards. Our next area is our milk phospholipids, which is one of the most recent launches we've done in our sports and active portfolio. These are complex dairy lipids to support mental well-being under stress. Now, we all know that stress has been a major all around the world for the last year and a half. It was already a challenge and something that globally consumers were saying that mental well-being and stress is a factor that they're really trying to manage. But in the case of with COVID, of course, it's been even more to the fore, and it's really nice seeing how much it's been mentioned. Now, the benefits of the phospholipids gives the ability to manage response to stress, both the ability to help stay positive under stress and to stay focused under stress. So with regular use and incorporation of the milk phospholipids in the diet, you can offer those benefits and help your consumers to really manage their lifestyle a lot better and not let the ups and downs take them out so much. So what on earth are phospholipids? They are an essential structural component within the body and especially important within the brain. They are the building blocks of cell membrane. So if you think of a cell as being a little bit like a balloon, and if the cell membrane would be the outer balloon rubber parts. If you've got holes and issues with the structure of the cell membrane, then you're going to lose the contents of the balloon and you're not going to have that nice structure. So the lipids really are important in forming that nice structure. And as we age, the brain phospholipids levels can decline, which happens to us all obviously as we age, but the really good news is you can easily absorb dietary phospholipids and they cross the blood-brain barrier in humans. So there's opportunity to use our phospholipid ingredients to deliver those benefits. And we bring the milk phospholipids to you from the milk fat globule membrane, which is a natural source of these wonderful, valuable phospholipids such as phosphatidylserine. And milk fat globule membrane is present in every drop of milk fat, and so it'll be in your cream and you might have in your coffee, but very, very low levels. So we've been able to concentrate it to make it more effective. So milk phospholipid 70 is the key ingredient that we would recommend. It's really efficacious and versatile. It has about 5 to 7% phospholipids. It also has some protein, so you can use that to boost the protein in your formulation as well. Nice and clean tasting, made from our fantastic non-GMO, RBST-free, grass-fed milk in New Zealand, of course. And it's nice and soluble, which makes it perfect for supplement sachets, ready-to-mix powders. If you've got a broader portfolio, it's also effective in nutritional bars. And we do have great support for the stress management benefits with some human clinical studies for milk fat globule membrane and phospholipids. So you can see here you've got benefits for mood, response for stress, and focus across the 6 studies that we've been looking at. And if you need a references list, we're happy to supply that for any of our ingredients. Now, lactoferrin has also been really popular through COVID. It is a protein that's known for its antibacterial properties and immunity benefits. So it's quite a unique powder in that it is actually pink. Because it's iron binding, so it has that unusual colour. And it's a really, really minute component of milk, but very, very effective and bioactive whey protein with immune enhancing function. So it can be protect against certain fungal, viral, and bacterial infections. It helps to regulate bone marrow function and absorption of iron to the cells. So again, something that could be complementary if you've got an iron boosted powder like Jared was talking about, that you could put them together and add those extra benefits. It also has anti-inflammation benefits and antioxidant properties, and it really helps to, because of the way it functions, it can really attack pathogens and break down their cell walls and starve them of nutrients and trigger an immune response in the body. And it's something that's become very, very popular. We've had lots of demand for it through COVID as people try to have those antiviral, anti-infection benefits, and particularly of interest in China. Now, our final ingredient to talk to today are our milk minerals, which are also known as natural milk salts. Now, we all know that calcium comes from milk, and this is a highly bioavailable source of minerals, and it is a concentrated form coming from milk, which is probably the most recognised source of calcium. We all grow up knowing about that, being told to drink your milk so you'll have strong bones. High concentrations of both calcium, around 28%, and also phosphates are both beneficial for bones. And calcium's been well researched and documented over the years, and a lot of studies have shown benefits, including maintenance of normal bones. If you've got vitamin D in there as well, you can help reduce the loss of bone minerals in postmenopausal women. That's needed for the maintenance of normal teeth, also contributes to our muscle function, so nice and complementary with the protein there. And also normal function with our digestive enzymes. So a number of benefits coming from those nice minerals. And suggested uses are a fortification of food, so you can easily blend them in with powders and into beverages, and you could even deliver them as a supplement in their own right. So with that, I will pass back to Lisa to introduce Joy.
Joy, so happy to have you on board today, and I know you've been fighting some traffic across Shanghai this morning, so thanks so much for joining us. So warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Lisa. Hello everyone, it's a great honor for me to have the presentation here today. My name is Joy Zhou, and I am working as the Strategic Business Analyst of our Global Sports and Active Lifestyle team. So Sports and Active Lifestyle team covers the global market, but I am now working in Shanghai, China, and I am working closely with our marketing and the sales team and focus on developing the market insights. Today, my part will mainly focus on a look into the China's powder market, and we will mainly focus on 3 areas. The first one is the adult milk powder, and the second one is meal replacement powders, and the third one is the sports nutrition protein powders. I also brought some samples here today so we can have a look at the products in the China's market later on. So here we come to the first part of the adult powdered milk market. So China's powdered milk market have been growing steadily and reached $2.9 billion in 2020. During the past 5 years, the market has been growing with a steady way and has the CAGR of 5.2%. It is also expected to be 5.1% in the future 5 years. And the sales of the online channel is growing in a very fast speed. And we can see the online channel has covered more than 1/5 of the total market. And according to the online data, we can see the Tmall's adult milk powder market has grown 20% during the past year, which shows that the online market is growing in a very rapid way. And if we look into the country of origin of the end products of the adult milk powder, we can see Australian and New Zealand adult milk powder brands have the second and third largest online market share in China. And we can also see the Chinese online consumers have an increasingly strong preference for the New Zealand origin milk powders, with its sales revenue to have the year-on-year growth rate of 18%. And on the right-hand side of this slide, we can see some top milk powder brands in China, and can also see some China's local brands here. We can say the local brands in China are also doing well, but they are also generally using the imported milk powders, including the ones from Oceania. So on this page, we can see the health benefits of the fortified milk powder that is interested by the Chinese consumers. The Chinese consumers nowadays focus a lot on the specific health claims, and the brands are also trying their best to responding with the tailored offerings by using the specialty ingredients. In the chart of this slide, we can see it is a summary made by Tmall themselves. they have summarized the 4 main health needs being targeted by the fortified milk powders in China, which are the digestive health, immunity, mobility, and heart health. Fonterra NZMP have a wide range of specialty ingredients that can feed into this health benefit. For example, for digestive health, we have probiotics, just as Rachel has mentioned, and we have lactoferrin. And for immunity health, we also have protein, probiotics, and lactoferrin. And for mobility, we have milk minerals and other ingredients. And NZMP have also had a lot of other specialty ingredients that can feed into the other health concerns of the Chinese consumers. So we have very fulfilled and the total solution and choices for you. This page shows a case study of Nestle. Nestle is one of the most successful adult milk powder brands in China's market, and it is trying to reach many customers' needs and achieving the premium prices by setting the different customers into different target groups, as well as adding specialty ingredients into their products. We can see Nestle has mainly 4 target customer groups and designed the special products for each of them. The 4 target groups are family, students, Asian people, younger generation, and women. And we can see among all the series, probiotics is a very good and commonly used ingredient that can be put in different series and used for the other target customer groups. And we can also see for the younger generation and women customers, Nestle have increased the protein level by putting in whey protein powder to meet the customers' needs for weight management and keeping fit. And when we look at these products with the specialty ingredients added in, we can see it has a much higher price than the base powder. Normally, it has 2 to 3 times the price of the normal powder prices. So we can see adding specialty ingredients and enhancing the protein level of products could enable the products with the premium prices and the perceived value. So this is the first part of the adult powdered milk. And in the second part, we will focus on the China's meal replacement market. So in recent years, China's meal replacement have become a very popular product, especially through the online approach. Since people have the weight management goals and the busy lifestyles, which makes meal replacement powder a popular way to get the good nutrition conveniently. The meal replacement powders in China are generally rich in protein and full in nutrition, which can meet people's increasing need for the balanced nutrition. And when we look at the meal replacement powder market in China, we can see it is fast evolving in recent years. The global brand Herbalife is still the largest meal replacement brand in China with more than 60% of the market share in 2020. So Herbalife is a traditional meal replacement powder which is put in the plastic can and in the big package. However, since 2019, the online sales have been growing because of the born of a new format of meal replacement powder, which is the bottled meal replacement powder. So the brands often put the powders into this kind of small plastic bottles, and it is very convenient to use and easy to carry. So all the customers need to do is to pour water into the bottle to the certain level and then shake it. Then you can make yourself a very decent meal replacement in just a couple of seconds. So it is very welcomed by the young generation as well as the female customers who want to manage their weight. We can see the online bottled meal replacement brands like Wonder Lab and Smil have taken the huge market size since their launch in 2019. And the innovative just add water format has the high appeal with its enhanced convenience. And in this page, we have made a case study for one of the most successful online meal replacement brand called Smil. So Smil is offering different series of products by adding in specialty ingredients and meet with the female customers' different needs for health benefits. We can see the second series, which is in the column 3 of this table. has the name of Smell Serious Fortified Meal Replacement. Its feature is to add one specialty ingredients into each flavor, and it can meet the customer's need of beauty from within. When we look at its price, we can see it is almost 50% higher than the ordinary version, which shows that adding specialty ingredients and having special claims could help meal replacement brands have much higher perceived value and higher prices. And if we look into the third series, which had the name of Noto Probiotics Fortified Meal Replacement, we can see it is adding 8 kinds of probiotics into its powder, and it is also rich in protein. Although its price is quite similar to the ordinary version, we can see its sales revenue is much higher than the ordinary version, which is almost 2 times in the March of 2021. So we can see adding probiotics into meal replacement powders is another way to help the meal replacement brand achieve success. So after we talk about the adult milk powder and meal replacement powder, in the third part, we will talk about the sports nutrition powders. The active consumers as well as the bodybuilders in China are looking to build the muscle and the recovery from activity, and they are looking to protein powders as a very convenient way to intake protein and achieve their goal of body manage. Here is a page about the overview of China's sports nutrition market. We can see this market is also growing in a very rapid way. The CAGR from 2020 to 2025 is expected to be 20%, which shows very strong potential for China's sports nutrition market. And the ready-to-mix powders are still the dominant format. We can see, according to the data, more than 50% of the RTM protein powders are imported from overseas countries, which shows that the overseas countries have a great opportunity in China. And in recent years, the e-commerce platform has becoming the major distribution channel, and its importance is growing year by year. It has a strong growth over the past 5 years and reached 84% in 2020. So on this page, we have shown the major formats of the sports nutrition powder products existing in China's market. And comparing these leading sports nutrition powders, we can see that increased protein and the use of specialty protein can both enable the price premiums. For example, if we look into the last product in this table, which is the whey protein hydrolyzed, we can see it has the highest unit price of all, since it is using the special ingredient whey protein hydrolyzed. And if we look into the first product in this table, which is the mass scanner, it has the lowest unit price since it has the lowest protein content of just 20%. So we can definitely see that higher protein level and using special ingredient could help the sports nutrition protein powder brands to achieve a higher value and higher price. After talking about the 3 areas of China's powder market, we can now look into the package evolutions in the China's market. There are several brands differentiating their powders and probiotics by using the new packaging formats to offer convenience and the novelty to the China's customers. We can see in this page that traditionally we have sports nutrition, meal replacement, and adult milk powder in the traditional package like cans or plastic bottles or big bags. But in recent years, the new format of small bottles have emerged and attracted the customers' attention. This trend has started from the meal replacement industry, as this product we have just seen, to put powders in small bottles. And it has started to influence the sports nutrition market too, since this is an example of a product launched by a sports nutrition brand in China. It is also putting the sports nutrition protein powders in these plastic bottles, and it can help customers to bring the protein powders conveniently when they go to the gymnasiums and to intake protein instantly after they finish their exercises. So to some extent, it has solved the customer's pain points. And it is also very attractive and popular in China's market now. And we also have 2 sachets of milk powders here. They are the new products launched by Anchor, which is fortified by lactoferrin and probiotics. So the customers in China nowadays also think the milk powders in the sachet format could be safer and cleaner. And it is also very convenient to use and easy to carry. It can meet with the people's increasing demand for the ongoing consumption. When we look at the supplement packages, we can see the traditional ones are always sachet, which is the powders in the small plastic bags. And in recent years, a new format which put the powders in these small plastic bottles have becoming very popular. And the brands always put 1 gram to 2 grams of powders in these small bottles. It is very cute and could attractive to the young generation and female customers. All the customers need to do when they use it is open it from the middle and open the seal. Then you can put the mouse directly to your mouth and it will melt in your mouth directly. It is very tasty and easy to carry. It is also a very popular product when people are sharing it on the social media platform. So in summary, the specialty ingredients and higher protein level could enable the differentiation and the premium prices. On the other hand, new packaging is also emerging. Adding specialty ingredients to the product powders like meal replacement, milk powder, and protein powder could bring added value to the products in China and support the Chinese consumers' specific health concerns. Secondly, in Chinese consumers' mind, protein is relevant to satiety, immunity support, and muscle building, so higher protein level could increase the customer's purchase intention. And recently, the new packaging formats like little bottles and boxes have become popular in China because of their convenience and novelty. The new packaging could help the brands to attract the young generation. So here's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Joy.
Right, well, I'm going to wrap it up with some inspirational concepts as examples of how we can bring it all together to meet some consumer needs in some unique ways. We can look at our fortified milk and our ready-to-mix protein powders, and as Joy pointed out, they can command a premium and they're definitely an opportunity to differentiate. We can lay out the benefits that we've offered by starting with a base, so choose a consumer milk powder or a protein powder, or maybe 2 together. And then you can choose and add on some 1 or more wellness boosters. So consider the probiotics, our milk phospholipids, lactoferrin, or the milk minerals. Or you could simply blend wellness components together or use them alone in sachets of goodness for your consumers. And we've got a few examples here for you to consider, and definitely welcome discussion on how we could tailor things to your needs. So starting with our all-around immune support milk powder, this is a really convenient tub of milk powder with some added benefits, which is easy to mix into water or other beverages for daily immune support for you and your family. So we're using our clinically researched immunity ingredients. We've got the Lacto-B HN001 and our Bifido-B HN019 probiotics, also our NZMP lactoferrin, and we're using this all on a base of our NZMP super fortified instant skim milk powder. So nice, plain tasting product that's very versatile for however you might want to use it. Now, moving more into the protein space, which is increasingly important and popular. In China, as Joy pointed out, the sports nutrition market's really growing, but we're seeing a real mainstreaming of protein around the world. So I can imagine it's going to become much, much bigger and maybe less of a sports market, but a general lifestyle market. And this is where our protein wellness booster really fits, and it's a delicious probiotic boosted ready to mix protein powder for support of both muscle metabolism along with the wellness from within, immunity and gut health. So again, using our clinically researched probiotic strains on a base of our short protein, whey protein options with the great New Zealand grass-fed origin claims that could be made, which really appeal to the Chinese consumers as well. So a really great overall wellness booster that could be easily incorporated into your day, whether it be something you have after a workout or a part of breakfast or just any time during the day when you need an extra boost. And then our final concept here is our brain and body protein powder. So again, getting the benefits of protein for muscle building and recovery, but also the richness of our milk phospholipid 70 to deliver the stress management benefits that we talked about. So the ability to help stay focused and remain positive under stress, as well as building good nutrition into your day. So you're getting the really nice high branched chain amino acids and leucine benefits coming from that whey protein isolate, as well as the milk phospholipid. So really great solution. Again, easy to mix into a cool liquid. Typically you just add water and shake. Perhaps it could be a meal in a bottle for the consumers, and away you go with a nice and rich formulation. So as we've shared, we've got many sought after consumer benefits supported by our solutions. So the physical performance, the healthy weight, mental well-being and our wellness from the inside out with our probiotics, milk phospholipids, milk minerals, protein and lactoferrin. We really encourage you to consider how these might fit for some of your positionings and your customers to deliver an enriched, enhanced product solution.
Wonderful. Thanks, Rach. And thanks, Joy and Jared as well. So we're going to take a couple of quick questions out of the chat box. I think we're almost out of time, but we'll take what we can. And rest assured that if we don't get to answer the question that you put in the chat box today, we'll summarise it up and make sure that's answered when we send a copy out of the collateral that we've covered today, plus a link to the recording of this session as well. So rest assured you'll get an answer either way. So for, I think there's a question here that maybe is for you, Rachel. Someone's asked, would there be any APC cross-contamination concerns when using probiotics in manufacture?
It's a really good question, and it is a concern for some customers. Our HN001 strain is an aerobic probiotic, so in that case, yes, that would be detected in your APC count, but there are potential workarounds there on how you can differentiate and make sure that it's proven that it's not a source of contamination. It's a good bug to have, but the HN019 is really helpful if you really just want to completely avoid the issue, because it's an anaerobe, so it's not going to count on your APC, and that's what a lot of customers do. They choose that one for that reason, along with it's got really strong benefits as well in the immunity and digestion and the like.
Thanks, Rachel. And if you have a follow-up question, feel free to reach out to your account manager on that one if that wasn't answered for you. Maybe one more. There's a bit of a question around a movement towards convenient single-serve formats, which certainly Joy talked about. Are we seeing that as a real move for milk powder products, Joy, in China?
I think it's definitely a very popular trend in China's market. Since the meal replacement have become stable in the years before 2019, and after the emergence and the brand of this kind of bottled meal replacement, this meal replacement market have its energy again, and it has become the most popular online product in 2019 as well as 2020. And this definitely have lead a trend in China's market to put every kind of powder into this kind of small plastic bags as well. Since it is very convenient to use and easy to carry, you can put it in your bags when you go to work or when you are having the business trips. So the consumers nowadays think the convenient and the novelty appearance is very, very important for them. And even for the milk powders in this small sachet have been launched by the major brands like Yili and Mengniu, which are very big local brands in China. So it is definitely a new trend in China that the small and single servings have becoming popular.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joy. Perfect. All right. Well, we're almost out of time, and I think a bit of time was taken up with some of our technical challenges. So thanks so much for bearing with us. Thanks to all of my presenters today, and thanks to all of you online for joining us. If you want to know more, we've got lots of options for you to join us, either on our benefits of protein, which you can follow us on nzmp.com, or you can look to us on Instagram as well. And we'll make sure, as I said earlier, that we follow up with a copy of the pack so you have all the collateral you need. And if you want to reach out, your account manager is just on the other end of the telephone. So thanks again. Really appreciate it. Stay well, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Thanks all.